floor, feet hip distance apart. Outside edges of your feet parallel, ankles, knees, hips and shoulders in line, lengthening through your lower back, sinking your shoulders down your back, nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, tighten through your core muscles, feel your tummy tighten, pelvic floor muscles lift, glutes engage, and we'll squat down. Sit your hips back behind you. Push through your heels, rise up to stand. So just warming up with a few squats. Hips back, push through your heels, rise up. Feel that weight in your heels. Push the ground as you drive up. Feeling your glutes engage. Keeping your back nice and lengthened, shoulders soft. And then we'll squat down, come up, lift your leg open to the side, drop, squat down, come up, open and close. Squatting in the middle, just waking up your outer hips as you open to the side. Try not to lean too much, so try and keep your pelvis pretty level. Strong in the standing leg. And then stay in the centre, just do a couple of squats in the middle, straight up and down. And then we'll squat in the centre, come up, hands together, twist one way, back to the middle, squat down, come up, twist the other way. So feel that your feet are firmly rooted down into the floor. When you come up, you stand tall before you twist. So make sure you're square forward before you twist. Let's keep your shoulders relaxed. Just getting a small rotation into your waist, so your legs and your hips are pointing forward. So it's just through the waist to the middle of your back that you get that rotation. Squat down, come up, twist. Squat, up, twist. Feel your glutes as you rise up. And squat in the middle, and we'll stay in the centre, arms down. Circle through your shoulders, nice big rotations. Forward, up, back and down. Big circles all the way around. And then keep your shoulders down. Rotate your arm, one then the other, up the front and down your back. So you're getting an opening through your chest as you circle round. Nice circles through your shoulder joints. Stand nice and tall. Check your posture through your spine. You're nice and long, keeping that length through your hips. And then keep your arms down by your sides. Bend your elbows up, open your hands, open and close. So your elbows are pulling in actively as your hands push open. So even if they're further apart, still feel that kind of pull into the body as your hands open. Shoulders sinking down your back, spine nice and tall. And then keep your hands in the middle, bring your elbows together. Keep your elbows pressing and pull your forearms open and closed. Or press your elbows together. So keep your elbows pushing in and out. Shoulders soft, hands pressing, elbows squeezing. So you get that stretch into your upper back. And then from there, keep as close as you can, bring your hands in line with your elbows, we'll push open and then come back to the front. So parallel as you come in, feel that broadening in your back and then opening, pushing back. So I'll come to the side, pulling together as close as you can and then opening. Keeping that line from your hand to your elbow, and you should feel that kind of broaden your back as you come in and then push back, open your chest as you open. Broaden, come in, push back open. So moving a bit slower, just so that you can really feel the kind of full range of movement, and you're taking an extra moment at the open and at the close to encourage more flexibility in those positions. Open and close. And then relax your arms down, give them a circle round, and then soften floppy arms. So just kind of shape your arms, relax your shoulders. So try and get floppy, looseness through your shoulders and your arms, kind of flopping, lifting and lowering, feeling and looking silly. And then relax your shoulders, tilt your head one way, bring your hand up, place it on your side of your head, your ear, and just not pulling, just having that gentle traction. This shoulder pushes down, fingertips reaching to the floor. Just hold there, take a few deep breaths. As you exhale, feel that shoulder sink down, see if your head can move on its own, so not pulling it, kind of let your head move and then your hand just moves with your head. And then release your arm, head up, other side, tilt your head, bring your hands over, place it on your head. So again, sink your shoulder down, the hand is just giving a little bit of traction, you're not forcing and pulling, your head is trying to move itself, you're trying to pull your ear down towards your shoulder and then letting the hand rest. Sink the shoulder down with every exhale, take a few nice deep breaths. And then release your hands, bring your head back up to the centre. And then we'll do some squat walk. So with your feet hip distance apart, come down into your squat and then walk forward. So heels leading, a couple of steps forward and then a couple of steps back, toes leading back. So staying as low down in your squat as you can. And if you've got a band or strap, you can place it around your thighs to give you a bit of extra resistance to make your glutes and your legs work a bit harder. So keeping down in the squat, make sure you're not bouncing up and down. Keep down in the squat, walk forwards and backwards, so carry on. The other way you can do it, if you don't have I've only got one of these long bands that we use for arms available, you can do it with one of these and just hold it with your hands. Get a bit of upper body strength as well. Squatting, making sure that your hips are back, so you should start to really feel your glutes. Leading at your heels, back nice and straight, shoulders relaxed. Last one, forward and back. Stay in that squat, seeing if you can go a bit deeper into the squat. Ooh, wobbly. And then relax, come up, release your band, drop your band down if you've got it. Come, bring your hands together, interlock your fingers, stretch forward, nice big stretch, hold there, broadening across your upper back. Just take a couple of breaths into your back. And then release your arms, clasp behind your back. Straighten your arms, open your chest. Take a few deep breaths there. And then release your arms around and we'll come to the wall, or I've got a chair here I'm going to use. Bring your hands onto the wall of the chair, walk your feet back behind you, stick your bottom back behind you, sink your chest in between your arms, and then hold that position there. So feel that stretch in the backs of your legs. Really feeling that you can tilt your pelvis up. So your tailbone sticking up in the air, and then you should get a nice stretch into your hamstrings. So you can kind of play around with the position of your back. You don't want too much curl in your back. You're aiming more towards dropping your belly towards the floor. So your pelvis tilts up like you've got a tail and you're sticking up in the air. So hold that stretch. Heels pressing down, tailbone sticking away, shoulders relax. And breathe into your legs. Breathe into that stretch, try and soften a little bit in this stretch. We'll just stay here for Another 10 seconds. Breathing, relaxing. Okay, and then come up, bring one foot in towards the chair, both legs straight, and then hold there. So you can push against the wall just to help put some weight into that back foot, and you're pushing your back heel down into the ground, straight to the back leg. Just hold that stretch up your calf, knee, and the back leg. So both legs are straight, feet point forward, hips point forward, shoulders soft, stretching into the back leg. Hold here for another 10 seconds. Just holding these stretches, breathing into them, feeling the weight in the back foot, feeling the heel pushing down. And if the heel's not down, bring your foot a bit closer in. Okay, we'll change legs. So step forward, the foot back, push your heel down, push some weight into that back leg. Feel that stretch up your calf, rooting down to the ground. You can push into the wall so that you're pushing away, and that back heel can feel like it's pushing a bit harder into the ground somehow. Let's say another 10 seconds. So hips point forward, feet point forward. What was I saying? Yes, if your back heel's not down on the ground, bring your feet a bit closer together. So you really want to anchor and root down into the back foot. So if you want a bigger stretch, the back foot goes further away, but just a stride to start with. And closer if the back heel's not down. Okay, and we'll release. And we'll come down onto your knees, and we'll just stretch your back out, and then we'll do some hips. So hands and knees. Bring your hands under your shoulders, knees hip distance apart. Tuck through your lower back, arch your upper back, let your head be heavy, and then lengthen and relax back to your flat back. So just a nice curl and flatten. Curl up and lengthen. Just relaxing into this stretch, feeling that full range of motion as you tuck and release. Keeping that length in your feet, so trying to feel that the tops of your feet compress down into the ground a little bit. Your toes are lengthening away, your ankles are moving towards the floor, so you get a bit of an extra stretch in your feet. Your tight feet. And then relax in your neutral position. Take one hand across your back, twist, look up towards the ceiling, and then down to the ground. Same side, just getting that twist into your chest, that opening through your shoulder. Open and close. And then bring the arm down, bring your hands to the floor, wider than where it was before, so just off the mat. If you had a mat, we're going to look up and then to the ground. So look up, reach up and down, twisting and down. So you're trying to stay pretty parallel through your knees and your hips. And then rest down, hand under your shoulder. Other hand across your lower back. Twist, look up to the ceiling and down to the ground. Lift that shoulder as you look up. Twist through your waist. Gentle stretch, gentle. it's not always the most comfortable one, this one, but gentle stretch for your chest. And then we'll stay with your shoulders square forward. Bring your hand down and wide. I'll just move on so you can see what I'm doing. So it's kind of wide out to the side, and then look up and then down. So you're coming straight out from your shoulder down to your hand. Tapping the floor and then looking up, following your hand as you look up and get that opening into your chest. Staying pretty square through your hips and your legs. Working into your upper back, so feel that shoulder blade kind of squeezing in as your arm lifts. And then relax that hand down, sit your hips back towards your heels, point your toes, reach your arms forward. Sink your chest over your knees, take a few nice deep breaths there. And as you breathe, feel that expansion in your chest. Full deep breath in, long breath out, trying to find some relaxation in this position. And then we'll come up, move your fingertips forward so your hips come higher in the air, and then sink down so you can kind of push on the floor. Sink your chest between your arms, getting more of a shoulder stretch, your arms in front of your chest. And then walk, come up kind of onto your hands and knees, and then come up onto your knees. Bring your hands to your lower back and then push your hips forward, pull your shoulders back, squeeze through your upper back so your elbows kind of squeeze together. You can look straight forward or you can look up, whichever feels more comfortable on your neck. And just take a breath there, a few breaths there. Hips pushing forward, but you're still feeling length. So you're not letting your spine collapse. You're still feeling like a length through your spine. Stay there, I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit so you can see my head. So you're still getting that lift up and back rather than just softening, slumping down. Open chest, hips press forward, breathing deeply. And you might feel that legs, hips, back, nice opening for your hip flexors. And then we'll right your body, bring one foot forward. Foot in front of your knee, lunge forwards and backwards. So as you come forward, try and keep your shoulders aligned with the back knee. So your hips go forward, but it's not your whole body. We're not doing that. We're doing more hips forward to open the hips. If you're tightening your hips, you might find that your shoulders do come forward a bit. It's hard to get the length in them. But what you're aiming for is that hip stretch. Hips forward, shoulders back. Root into that front foot. Open through your chest. And then we'll hold the stretch. So push your hips forward, hold there. You can keep your hands on your hips or on your knee, or you can reach them up and lengthen. Take a few deep breaths there. That front knee is not in front of your toes. So when you come into the position, make sure that the foot stays slightly in front of the knee. It's not there, and then you're coming forward. We don't want that position, we want foot in front, so that when you come forward, the knee then is over the heel. And then release it back. So hips stack up over the back leg again. You can bring your hands onto your knee or onto the floor. Tuck your back toes under, and we're going to lift this back knee. So if your hands are on the floor, that gives you an easier option. Take a deep breath. Tighten through your core muscles. Lift your back knee up and down. So coming up and down. You're pushing into that back, the toes on your back foot, pushing into the front foot, using your core muscles. If you can come up, try and be upright, nice and upright, up and down. So progressing up to this kind of position where your body is a bit straighter. And in this position, we've got your hip extended, and then we're bringing strength to your hip flexors in that position. So it can be quite a difficult one. So always start down here where your hands can support the strength. And then rest, relax down. Untuck the back toes. Shift your hips back, straighten your front leg. You can move it a bit further forward and then pull the toes back towards you. And for balance wise, keep your hands on the ground. You can bring them onto your leg if you feel balanced, or hold onto a wall or a chair. And this is a nice stretch up the back of your leg to your hamstring. Try and keep that length in your back. It'll be hard, but you're always thinking about tilting your pelvis, tailbone sticking away from you. So trying to keep that length, and as you progress, you'll have less of that rounded back. As your muscles lengthen, your back will lengthen a bit. Okay, and relax. Bring your hands to one side, bring that knee back, and we'll change legs. So other foot forward, foot in front of the knee, lunging forward, easing down, up, forward and back. Shoulders back as your hips go forward. Front knee coming over your ankle. Trying to find that nice hip stretch, so feeling it in that back hip as you lunge forward, shoulders pulling back in line with the back knee. You can move a bit more slowly if you need to, you don't have to keep up with the same pace that I'm going. And then we'll hold that stretch, front knee bent, sink your hips down. You can keep your hands where they are on your hips or on your front knee, or you can reach them up to the ceiling and lift up out of your shoulders, reach your hands high. Take a few deep breaths there. Soft shoulders, length into the back hip, breathing. And then release your arms down. Shift your hips back, so you can start with your hands on the floor in this one. Bring that knee, that front knee over your ankle. So line that up. Tuck your back toes, pushing through your back toes, pushing through your front foot, lift and lower your back knee. So you don't have to, I'm lifting probably too far there. So just a little way up and down. Your hands can support you. They can start to loosen, so maybe fingertips on the floor to start making it a bit harder. Maybe hands on the knee as the back knee lifts and lowers. It's just a small lift. Feeling your feet ground down. Tighten through your core muscles. Working through those hip flexors in that extended position. So it's a tough one. It is a tough one, this one. Work where you're at. Maybe you just do a couple. Do what you can. Hands down if you need to. Fingertips light. And then rest that back knee, untuck your back toes. Shift your hips back, straightening your front leg a bit. Pull your toes towards you. You can slide the heel forward, just finding that comfortable position for the front leg. Hands can be on the ground to balance you, on a chair, on the wall, or you can come up onto your leg or your hips. But the most important thing is that you feel the stretch in your leg. So it doesn't really matter where your hands are for this one. We're looking for a good hamstring stretch. Almost feel like that thigh bone is pulling back into the socket, into your hip socket. You try and get as much length in your back as you can. It's okay, it probably will be curled. That's okay, but just as long as you're always thinking about tailbone lifting, trying to encourage that length in your back, and as the stretch eases a little bit, and then you can try and think more about the length in your back. Breathe. So it's really important to breathe in all these stretches. Soften through your muscles and your ligaments. And then bring your hands to the inside. Bring that knee down, come down onto your knees. Keep your toes pointed. Push those ankles down into the ground. Bring both arms out to the side, turn your thumbs up, make a fist. Turn your thumbs to the wall behind you and sink your shoulders down your back, and then push back to the wall behind you. Push your thumbs back behind you, pulsing back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to come a bit higher into a Y shape. So a bit higher, arms lengthening, push your thumbs back behind you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And relax your arms down. Take a deep breath in, reach one arm up to the ceiling, reach over to the side, just hold there. Feel the shoulder pulling back, feel your bottom pushing down into your heel, the floor, towards the floor on that same side, so you get a nice stretch in your waist. Deep breath in, long breath out, and change sides. Other arm, reach up to the ceiling, lift up and over, root your sit bones down, reach the arm up, open your chest, take a breath. Deep breath in, long breath out. and release your arms down. One more clasp behind your back, so clasping your hands together. Try and get an openness through your shoulders, so your shoulders open rather than curl forward and up. We want to open and lift, and then lift your hands up behind you. Your elbows can stay bent. You can always put them on your lower back if that's better, so you're opening your chest, squeezing your elbows together if that gives you more of that open position through your shoulders. So I want an opening in the shoulders, so open through your chest. So you're opening, and your back will probably arch a little bit forward. That's okay for this one. The main thing is to get that stretch, that opening for the front of your shoulder joints. So squeezing your upper back, your shoulder blades, broadening across the front of your shoulders and your chest. Just breathe there. So they could be straight, they can be slightly bent, they can be on your lower back and opening, whichever feels like you're getting that nice open shoulder position and you're not stretching in this position. You want that squeeze of your upper back. One more final deep breath in. And as you exhale, release your arms around and we'll finish there. Well done.